when I coached at some different levels of college basketball, it was always a great challenge to get the high major schools in state to play in. For obvious reasons, you're sort of pushed, if you're the high major, you're in a nothing to gain, everything to lose situation. But I don't agree with that. And so when I got the opportunity to become a high major coach, you guys know how much I talk. I figured I kind of have to walk the walk if I'm gonna talk the talk. So we entered in a series with UT Chattanooga, where we went down there and played them, and won a real close game. We got into a series with Middle Tennessee, and played them in a neutral site, played them a couple home games, and played them at Middle, and won a real close game. And then getting to Auburn, certainly the challenges of scheduling and trying to attract other high major programs. The ACC, for example, playing 20 league games. It's really, if you play 20 league games and then you play in a couple of tournaments in a neutral site made for television, then you get a few home games. Next thing you know, that's really it. And so getting quality opponents is becoming more and more challenging. So therein lies this series here. South Alabama will come to Auburn twice. We'll go down there once, and take our chances. The other issue with these road games are real simple. They count more, towards the formulas that determine who gets in a tournament and who doesn't. So the whole idea behind nothing to gain and everything to lose, it's just not true. If we can beat South Alabama at South Alabama, a team that's picked to either win or finish second in their league, that game's going to help us get in tournament. It could be a quadrant one win, given the fact that it's on the road. South Alabama is, by stats, the most experienced team that returns in college basketball. They had almost everybody back, and they had 3 transfers sitting out that were Richie Riley brought in when he first got the job. Richie Riley is one of the top young coaches in the country. That's definitely an up-and-comer. They won 17 games a year ago, and they're off to a really good start this year. They're athletic, they're talented. They got 3 different guys that can beat you. Ajay and Mitchell, one of the better athletes that we will see to this point, obviously, Coleman. So, really good team, run really good stuff, play really fast, very athletic, and should be a great environment. I mean, the bottom line is the Mitchell Center in Mobile, Alabama, tomorrow night will be as good an environment in college basketball as there is anywhere in the country, and it's a really cool thing to be a part of.
How important is an atmosphere like that for this group of newcomers, no matter where it is, to have that kind of environment?
It'll be sold out. It'll be loud. The whole idea. Look, typically when you're on the road, it doesn't so much hinder your play, but sometimes it can elevate the home team. I'm sure South Alabama's play will be elevated. They make one shot, they'll make 4. And again, athletically, they're really good. They play above. Several of those guys can play above the rim, and they're fast and quick. So it'll be a great environment. It won't be an exclusively hostile environment. There'll be Auburn people there, and when we play well and we have our spurts, it'll feel like a neutral site. But that's why it's so important to give this team that experience.
You noticed Mississippi State almost lost to them at home. I guess that's pretty much an eye-opener, isn't it?
Yeah, Mississippi State, from what I understand, had everything, got everything they wanted out of them, and it was one of those exhibition games that they did for benefits, and then they destroyed Pikeville, and that great win over Southern Miss on Saturday. So good team. They were expected to be good, and so it won't be any problem getting our guys ready and respecting our opponent. Now, last year, I'll tell you, we played maybe our best game of the year as far as our performance was concerned. We were ready for them. We spent time working on them. I believe it was the opener for us. Was it opener? I think it was the opener for us last year. We spent a lot of time on them. We played, I mean, we made every shot. I mean, everything we did turned out great. And I knew after that game, I told Coach Rod after that, so we couldn't play any better.
Coach, so far, what do you like about your team, and what are some things you really want to work on in coming weeks?
You know, this will be our third game in 7 days. And so we had the players had Saturday off. What I've been most impressed with was the fact that on short preparation, they bought into the Davidson Scout, they paid attention to it. That is really understandable for the 5 seniors because they've been through it before. But the new guys, they just can't believe how much film we watch. They can't believe the details of a scouting report. They can't believe the intricacies of the coverages. And the idea is this: it's not one size fits all. What we called against Davidson, we may not call offensively against South Alabama because it's not the stuff that'll work against that defense or the way they play. Or the way we're going to guard Davidson may be different than the way we're going to guard South Alabama. Think about you're a high school player. You play defense. What do you mean we're going to defend them differently? They just, you know. So I was most impressed with the fact that we were able to buy into what we're doing so far. Now, can they keep that going? I thought our guards, as we talked about, you know, our guards could be really good defensively. Davidson is extremely hard to guard, but they're not a very athletic team. This is a very athletic team who also runs stuff that's hard to guard. So that'll be different now. We couldn't stay in front of Georgia Southern. We'll have a harder time staying in front of South Alabama. We could stay in front of Davidson, and that was part of the reason why we were able to win the basketball game.
Bruce, you guys jumped up 9 spots in the AP poll today. Just playing, get rewarded for playing.
Where are we right now?
15.
We're not the 15th best team in the country, I can tell you that right now. We'd like to try to become that. Now let me ask you a question. This is really cool. Turn the clock back 5 years and beat Georgia Southern at home and go to Davidson, win by 10 neutral site. Where would we be ranked?
No, maybe.
115?
maybe inside the top 100. So for me, it's just something to build on. So you look at a lot of our non-conference opponents again. You know, we'll have Mark Godfrey will come in on Friday with his team from California. He's had one player sitting out who's his best player, not eligible yet. See if he, knowing Mark, he'll get him eligible for the game against Auburn. And then it's Colgate, who's picked to win the Patriot League, and then later on it's Furman, who's picked to win their league, and it's just, you know, it's so. Can we grow? You know, can we build on what we've started? I saw Samir Dowdy played really well against Davidson. Thought he was in the right places all the time. Provided great leadership. And Dan Gill made big shots. Austin dominated the defensive glass. Anthony won the game in the last 3 or 4 minutes of the game. Javon was fast and got downhill. I mean, there were a lot of really good things that took place in that game. Again, can we build on it? South Alabama will press us. Georgia Southern pressed us. Their pressure bothered us. Well, South Alabama's pressure bothered us, so we take advantage of it. Again, just lots of new experiences.
Bruce, you talked all season about Isaac's defense. To see him play defense the way he did against Davidson and also lead the team in scoring, I mean, how encouraging is that just 2 games in his career?
Yeah, it's encouraging but not surprising. You know, he's got really good basketball too. He's picked up on everything. It's really fortunate that he was our most talented freshman, who we thought could be our best freshman by virtue of who he was and what he was, where he was ranked, and how good he was. But then also, and I don't know if it's always a direct correlation, to be making the easiest transition as far as picking up on the concepts. I'm playing him at 2 positions. He's playing 3 and 4. That's really hard to do, and he is on it. He's all over it. Really, he's a really smart player. So yeah, I mean, he's been a great addition, and we just got to continue to get more experience with him.